Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Trying something new today, so please, when you come rolling in, if you could let me know if everything is okay, if you have any kind of feedback or anything. So I'm hoping that this is going to go out okay. So I'm going to just kind of hang out here for a second. I'm going to, let's see, paste in the chat. There we go. I don't see anyone yet. So, okay, I see a few of you coming in. How is the feed? Is it okay? If you could let me know in the comment section. If not, I'm going to have to leave and come back in and just start over like I normally do. Hello, hello, Facebook user. So what you'll have to do right now is I am video taping this from StreamYard. So you're going to have to let StreamYard, you have to go approve so that I can see your name. If not, it'll just say Facebook user. So how does it sound? I can see Delissa, hi. So my sound okay? I hate it when I have to do all this, but so anyway, I thought it would be kind of cool if I could do split screen so that I could speak to you, and yet then you'd have a full view of the painting as well. It's my idea. Hi, everybody. Tell me who's here. If you would like to, you can give permission for StreamYard to post your name. That way I can see who's here. I know Delissa's here. Hello, hello. So what I'm doing, I'm going live over on my YouTube channel. I am going live over on my Girl Upcycled support page, and I'm also going live on my Girl Upcycled Studio public page. So I've got 3 places. This way is super cool. Okay, thanks, Delissa. So yeah, if you guys take a second, go over and approve. All you have to do is just you go out of the live right now, and there's like a little link, and you click it, and that's all there is to it. So I thought I would paint. I'm going to work on this a little bit more. This is a class that I was working on Tuesday in the Creators Club. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. A little bit. Anyway, I thought I would work on it a little bit more today and answer any of your questions, because you guys, guess what? Thursday, I'm so excited because we open up the Creators Club doors again for my private membership group. I only do this a few times throughout the year, and this is my fall opening. So Thursday, if you are somebody that has been waiting, I know I've talked to some of you on the side, make sure you're on the list and that you get an email on Thursday, okay? Did that work? Yes, Delissa, I can see you. Kimberly, I can see you over in West Virginia. Hello. How do you get StreamYard to approve? All you do is you go outside of this live, and you'll look at where the topic for the live is, and there's just a little link that you click, and that's it. That's all you do. All right, so I'm going to work a little bit. So what I would like for all of you, every one of you that is watching, first of all, if you are inside the Creators Club, if you could say, I am a Creators Club member, so that we can kind of see who you are, and if people have questions, they can ask you. If you're not in the Creators Club, I would like for you to ask a question that you have about the membership. Ask anything you want. I am here and just to answer all the things for you. I will be going live all week talking about that. Oh, that was you. Okay, awesome. All right, so let me go ahead. I hope there's no delay in it and all that good stuff. So I think what I'm going to do on the painting is I want to add maybe a little more blue tone to this. We've got a lot of purple on this one side, and I think I want to break it up just a little bit, and I might use a little bit of the DIY paint. Blue Iris, I think is what I'm going to use. All right, and I'm just going in with my hands right now, and I'm using this. I need to grab my paper towels. What did I do with them? Here they are, over here. I should have this turned the other way. And what I want to do is spray it a little bit so that it doesn't have full coverage, because the DIY paint is clay based. It's very highly pigmented, it's very thick, and it will cover very, very heavily if you do this without the water. Or of course you could use glazes and things like that. I just want to deepen this background just a little bit right around here. Put a little bit of that into my glass. This is a glass vase here. And yeah, I like it better already. So what that does is that just defines that a little bit more. So that's kind of what I was going for. What does the membership include, is asking Kimberly. Okay, it includes so much, Kimberly. Okay, when you get in there, I have hundreds of classes in the vault. So you'll go to the guide section once you get into the membership. It is a private Facebook group, and once you pay, you're added into that group, and then you can go straight to the guides. And I have the guides broken down into, like if you're a beginner, you can go to the splatter and chatter classes. If you're there for the intuitive sessions, you can go straight to the intuitive. You can go to the florals, you can go to the knives. So everything is kind of sectioned off and itemized that way. You also get any kind of video that I do, I call it a la carte. So my Door Envy video, anything that I do outside of the group is yours for being a member. That's part of the perk. We go live every Tuesday there, okay? But you don't have to be there for the live. You can simply catch the replay, because I know people work and all that stuff, so it is there. I also work a little bit one-on-one with you if you need, and what that entails is, let's say you're in the middle of a piece of art. Let's say you're doing the floral right here and you're stuck. You would send me photos of it. I would talk to you on the side, or we could talk in the group too. I know when people first come in, they're a little bit shy. So I will work with you digitally, and I'll do some digital marks on your work and make changes and suggestions so that you can visually see what I'm talking about. I hope that kind of explains it. The membership is $27 a month, and there are no contracts. So that means that you can come in and give it a try. And if you don't like it, you're able to leave. You're not stuck in there. My goal is that you come in and that I push you gently, and I teach you how to create with your own artistic fingerprint, is kind of what I call it. My goal is for you to learn how to paint your own artwork without having to look at, a step by step, if that makes sense. So that is my goal and what I try to push you towards. I think I want to add even a little more. I hope that answered some of your questions. Kimberly, do you have anything else you'd like to ask? We do a lot of different mediums in there. Subject matter, I mean, it really changes according to the members. the members kind of dictate the subject matter. One fun thing that we're getting ready to do is we just had our very first retreat. And part of that retreat, we went on safari at the wilds. We have lots of pictures of all these wild animals, and we are going to create pictures and paintings from all the photos that we took. So that's something that the members are sharing with everybody. I'm pretty excited about that. Add a little bit. Sometimes we use our fingers when we paint. Sometimes we are using our knives, and we will use we'll do what's called an Impasto Style, which is just a fancy word really of saying that we are working with texture. And we'll use thickening mediums to create really thick paintings, so that when you see it, when you look at it, there'll be a lot of depth to it. Let's see, how many do you have in your creative group? Right now, I'm just at maybe 108 to 10, something like that, give or take. Not everybody's vocal in there. I have some people that just hang out and want to paint, and that's okay too. So it's completely up to you. Like I said, we kind of alter it to accommodate any of you, whether you're somebody that's bold and likes to talk a lot, or whether you're more discreet. I do try to keep that into consideration and help all of you out in whatever way is good for you. Like the blue that I added, that really a little more drama over here on this side. This painting, I would say I'm about halfway done on this one. I'm all about layers. I'm all about pushing you to go from that one-dimensional kind of a painting to adding all these layers, and that's where you're going to get that more, I don't know, authentic, painterly kind of a finish that you're all trying to achieve. So my goal is to, a lot of times when people ask me, like, what does this need? I can't decide, and I think I've done it wrong or whatever. And I say, actually, you have done it right. You just aren't finished yet. You are only about halfway through. So you need to get the rest of the layers on. You have to get the depth by using some darkness. So if you look at the dark that I've added in this painting in particular, it's already starting to give it some depth. So then you add your color, and then you want to add your highlights. All of those additions to your painting really take it that next level up where I'm trying to get you to. So a lot of times it's just giving yourself a break and then showing back up at the easel maybe the next day, or if you just need an hour. A lot of times it's just giving yourself that space that you need to, just kind of breathe through it. Sometimes we struggle, and that's okay. And it's just about not giving up and showing back up, putting that time in. Hi, Christina. Kimberly says, yes, you answered all of my questions. Thank you so much. You are so welcome. Any other questions? I'm going to just paint a little bit here. I feel like I need some shadowy kind of, some more depth and shadowy kind of things. So I'm going to add a little bit of that. It's so strange. I hope that on your end that you are not hearing any kind of feedback, because I do hear a little bit on my end. It's kind of throwing me off a little bit, but I am trying so hard to figure out a way to do the double screen, because I think that's really cool when you can kind of see the person and you can also see their artwork as well. So I am looking to upgrade to some things like that at some point. So we'll see. All right, I think I'll just maybe continue to use my fingers a little bit here, and we'll just see what happens. And just using, I might add a little green to this. So I have prairie gray. And so I might add a little touch of color to it. I don't know what it'll do. Let's see. I don't want it to be too dirty looking, but let's see what happens. But I do want it no more. There we go. It's kind of a dark olive, kind of a green now. So it's not going to be really enough to be too noticeable, but you know, when I'm working with colors and tones and things like that, I want to make sure that it's going to mesh nicely. So let's just put, so this is going to kind of just be different stems that we're seeing. Anybody else painting today? Are y'all working hard or getting into? We talked about on this particular piece, we were going over the angles of the flower. If you notice each one, like this one's hanging down, this one's hanging this way, this one's looking straight, this one's going up. So we talked about thinking of it as a little cup or a little bowl. And so you'll move that bowl around, and that's kind of helps you to know the placement of the flowers and the placement of kind of, we call it an oval, but you know how to place that oval when we're building the flowers up. A split screen is great, says Rhonda. Awesome. Yeah, I really like it. I watch a lot of different artists on YouTube, and boy, some of them have some really awesome equipment, and I would love to get to that point at some time. I'm going to add just maybe some shadows here on some of these leaves. Kind of looks a little bit worse before it looks better. So I always say, you know, think about when you're cleaning your house and you're cleaning all those drawers out. So that I'm talking that way because I just cleaned out my makeup drawer today, and so it got a little bit worse before it got better. So it's kind of what the paintings are, but you know, this is all going to be a little bit of, you know, some shadows. Even in this flower here, even though it's nice and bright, I'd still want to add a little bit of shadows to this flower in the front. And I will share this when I'm done so that you can kind of see the outcome of it with all the layers. I'm going straight in with the gray too. I'm not, as I'm working on some of the flowers, I'm not using some of the green that I had. I'm just working in a little bit of the gray, and I actually want to spray it. This is DIY paint, so it'll reactivate, and I can kind of smooth it, soften it a little bit. Now, if you're able to see how it just kind of caused some shadows there. Some little buds right here. You could be doing this with a knife too. You don't really have to be using your finger, but I'm just kind of lightly squirting it, reactivating it, and then I'm just kind of smoothing it. So when you come in, those of you that are coming into the Creators Club starting Thursday, the doors open. The beginning of November starts our new month, and we will be working on some photos from our retreat. So you'll kind of get to be part of that with us, even though you weren't here. Everybody gets to kind of be part of it. Push that up. And we can add some up here. I'm not too worried about it because I will be going back over it. Some more color. So it's kind of dulling down some of the brighter color, but like I said, I'll be going back on top of it again. And that's kind of how we do it. We do those layers and we put in all in that time. Any other questions? Everybody's loving the split screen. And yeah, I'm loving that I can talk to all my people over on YouTube as well. I miss that. The live videos sometimes kind of do slow down my algorithm a little bit, but I just thought it wasn't too important with the opening of the group not to do it. A little bit of shadowing up here. And then I'll start using some more color. Adding that water, softening that back up. I really think I need to work on the sunflowers a little bit. So let's maybe go there. Let's go that route. Like I said, I'm about halfway through. I don't see any other questions coming in. I would love it if y'all take a moment and just sprinkle the love for me. Kind of helps me get the word out. Hopefully that's bright enough for all of you. There we go. It's a little better angle, isn't it? Okay. I am going to put some of my yellow tones on. Yellow is a really hard color, by the way, to cover. I don't know if you know that already. So usually when I'm working on yellows, I have to do, a few coats. I will say the DIY paint covers for yellow, it covers pretty well. But when you switch over and you use some of the acrylics, that's when you'll notice that it's a little more difficult. So I'm going to go in with my Queen Bee and add some color here. Like I said, the DIY paint covers really well, so you will, unless you add water, you should get pretty good coverage here. So I'm going to follow this little flower here was kind of looking down a little bit. So I want to make sure I follow that angle. And let me just use a brush a little bit too, so you can watch how I use a brush. You don't have to always use your fingers. I just do like doing that. Let me use this little filbert. This is called the Favorite from the Turquoise Iris line. And this is a filbert brush. If you notice, it has this little, kind of a little half moon shape up here. And these come in all different sizes, you guys. This is actually my favorite shape. So this is a great big one. I use this big filbert quite a bit because I do larger canvases, but we can get that in the smaller ones too. Okay. No questions coming in, so I'm gonna keep painting here and make these strokes. When you do use your brush, you can get a nice line that interprets that leaf, the little leaf of the flower, the petal. Please don't hesitate. Those of you that are coming in, I just announced that I will be opening up the Creators Club. We have all kinds of classes in there for those of you wanting to level up your game, want to really dive into art, and that is what we focus on in there. All things artistic, whether it's on wood, whether it's on canvas, no matter what, it's just getting you to level your game up and trying to gently, I say gently, push you to where you can figure out how to create art all on your own. My goal is that everybody comes in there and I call it their artistic fingerprint. You might hear a lot of people say your artistic voice, but it is true. Everybody has their own method, their own movement, their own fingerprint, so to speak, on how they paint. There could be 10 of us painting a sunflower, and all 10 of those sunflowers are going to look different because all of us have a different stroke and we have a different movement. So my whole purpose in this group is to teach you what your own artistic fingerprint is. And that's when the magic kind of happens, right? So for me, I actually don't normally paint this this neat. I'm usually throwing my paint on and I'm usually dripping it and all the things. So I'm going to start working a little bit faster so I can kind of see how I'm almost kind of scribbling right now. That's kind of how my style has really gotten so loose to where I really can paint more like that. It is a little different when you're teaching, trying to, turn your brain off when you're teaching and get into that mode, that rhythm. So that's where I'm trying to remind myself to hold my paintbrush. I'm holding it clear back here on the very tip and trying to get my movements a little bit looser. And that's kind of what I really learned to love, is a fast, kind of a messy, kind of a stroke. I love the movement that it gives, especially when I'm doing flowers and all that good stuff. Okay, do you have any recommendations of someone who does wine and paint parties? Are you talking about in town? Chris Bebout. They're called Splatter and Chatters. I do them in-house, and you have to have 6 or more people, and you have to just schedule with me on the side. So I'm not sure if you're local or not. Hi, Miss Tanya. How are you? The way I do it in here is you bring your own drinks and your snacks, and then, and you pick out the day and the time. Do you ever paint with canvas flat on a table? I do. And I'll tell you why and why I would do that. So when I'm painting and I am spraying and I'm using a lot of water and I don't want to get drips, a lot of times I'll paint it flat so that I can still work with water and move my paint around as needed, but I won't drip it. Like it'll just kind of puddle it a little bit. So I use it then. Um, Watercolors would be a reason maybe that I would use on a flat surface. So if you're using watercolors, of course, that's very fluid. So you want to kind of think about that. I'm going to add a little bit of this bright yellow inside this flower here. Touch of yellow. A little fire in the middle of that. Looks really pretty. I hope that that answered. Chris, are you local, Chris? If you are, you can just get a hold of me on the side. I know starting in November, our farmers market starts here on Saturdays, so I would have to do the splatter and chatter like either through the week or even a Friday night. I know my Saturdays are going to be pretty booked up with the farmers market, but that's okay. I'm really glad they're coming back. Okay, I'm happier with that. Let's do. We were using a photograph too, to go by with this particular painting, and I encourage everybody to put their own spin on it. So it was really interesting because some of the paintings are starting to come in, and some of them are more realistic, some of them are more whimsical. We have all different kinds of just styles that are coming in. So it's so interesting to see everybody's just style and how they paint, you know. So, but everybody is definitely loosening up compared to when they first came in, and that's awesome. I love seeing that. So, let's see a little bit of a little more lines in here. The stems. A little bit of debris and leaves that are in it. And then I like to kind of spray it a little bit, and that's just going to soften it. And that's kind of making it just look like it is behind the glass. Kind of gives it a distorted kind of a look. Oh, I like that. It's coming along. Is you kind of feel it when it's going where you want it. You kind of can um you just kind of feel it inside, like, oh yeah, that's how I'm liking it. Okay, let's see. Chris says, fantastic, thank you. Delissa says, what day and time do you come on in your membership group? That's a great question. I go live. I am here in Ohio, so it's Eastern time, and I go live every 6 at 6 p.m. every Tuesday evening. The classes generally are like an hour and a half. I try to really keep it at that time because I try to be, I know you guys are, have family, cooking dinner, and all that good stuff. So on Tuesdays at 6, it ends at 7:30 at the latest. And then what I'll do, like with this one, I got everybody started on the floral. I set up the composition of it. If you notice, all of the main center points are right here where it should be. So I get everybody kind of set up, and then I just kind of nudge them on their own. Like if I'm not done, obviously this one I'm still working on, but it gives the members enough to get started, and then and then they can kind of push themselves. Like I said, my goal is to get you to create your own art, not your friend's style, not my style, not somebody else you're watching. I want you to find your own style, because that's what is going to set you apart from all the other hundreds and hundreds of thousands of painters that are out there, is that you have your own style and you're using it and you're figuring it out, and it's just like me, with the kind of a messy, scribbly kind of a brush strokes that I have, but that's what makes my style mine. I'm not going to be in there real precise, doing every little brush stroke. Now, do I have classes for people coming in that are just new and beginning? I do. And the splatter and chatters are for that. It'll teach you how to hold your brush. It'll teach you how to put the correct pressure on a brush and when to pull up to get a final look that you're trying to achieve. I have all of those classes in there. And if you can't find those classes, you just ask in the group. A lot of times the members chime in and they all help each other, because I'm here at work, and then I chime in as soon as I get in there and see that I've been tagged. Then I'll get in there and I'll be like, yeah, so and so was right on. And I'll just kind of help direct a little bit more from there. But it's a wonderful community. It's a very safe place to be. I will tell you that too. Very, very supportive. There are no questions that you can't ask, and I feel like the members in there do a good job of asking the questions. And I always encourage people too, if you don't ask a question, you have to kind of get out of your own head, because if you have a question, there are many others in the group that are probably wondering the same thing, and they may not be brave enough to speak up. So I really encourage you to ask any question, even if it's like the size brush or whatever it is, mixing colors. There's no wrong question. Okay. Let's see. So yeah, we just said 7 p.m. Eastern time we go live. The recording is there for you to take whenever, and I am there for help whenever. Even if you don't take the live, you can still get help from me. Jojo, hey girl, love the angles. Thanks, Joe. Hi, Judith. Thank you so much. Joe says it really does help to be able to see you and the painting. That's awesome. Let's see. Christine, she says, I've been in the creative community for a year and it's amazing. You've probably been in there longer than a year, Christine, haven't you? She's been in there a while. And Christine's very helpful in there, by the way. She's one of them that's very, she'll jump in and help anybody at any time. So we have a really nice community in there. All right, so let me work a little bit on maybe some of these other flowers for just a little bit. I'll paint a little bit more, and then you can keep the questions coming, okay? Tell me what y'all are cooking for dinner tonight. What's for dinner? sometimes you will go into the Creators Club and I'll have like a inspirational photo for you, and sometimes I won't. Sometimes I'll tell you, I'll say, let's see, we did an abstract floral, large scale one, and all I did was I said our inspiration were fall colors, and so we all had fall colors that we were using as our inspiration, and that was all I gave them. And mine actually ended up being quite funny because I thought I was thinking of fall leaves when I was painting it. Did not turn out to be fall leaves. It turned out to be yet again another big abstract sunflower, which was kind of funny. And I do tell you guys, I mean, sunflowers are my favorite. It's my favorite flower. So a lot of times we tend to, even if it's not on purpose, sometimes we'll accidentally paint things that we're drawn to. So it's kind of like the person that you buy an orange vehicle and you're like, nobody else has an orange vehicle. Well, you buy one and you're like, why does everybody else have an orange vehicle? You know, it's kind of like that same kind of mentality kind of thing. So I am using a little bit of this dark rust color. Let me tell you what it is. Because it is, I think it's burnt sienna. Here. Oh, red ochre. I was wrong. It's a red ochre. And then I have this really light soft pink that is called Persian Red. And I'm kind of mixing these two together. And it's putting a nice, just continuing some of the shadows. So I'm keeping it warm because I'm using, a lot of warm colors. So I want to keep all of even my highlights and my shadows are going to be warm. It's okay. It's dripping. I kind of like that. Sometimes I do that just purposefully. I like the drips. And if I wanted to make them go away, all I would do is kind of spray it right where I want to clear it, and it kind of sprayed a little bit of that rust off of my sunflower. I'm not too worried about it being there. I still have more layers to go. Let's add a little bit of this in here. Go to orange over here because this is a little more pink. We do a lot of intuitive painting in there too, gang. Every single month, we start the month off with intuitive style. So if you are curious about that, then I would encourage you to come on in and give that a try. I feel like that is the main style of painting that has really pushed me into developing kind of my own kind of style. So highly recommend that for all of the members that come in. I'm just going to clean this up. Getting a little bit dirty over on this one side, so I'll clean it up just a smidge. Let's see. Are there any other questions? Hello, Judy. Judy is a member. of the Creators Club. Tuesday, 7 p.m. says Facebook user. I'm not sure who that is, but thank you. Christine says, I've lost track of time. Yep. You've been in there a while. There. Tuesday, 6 p.m. So just so you're wondering, those of you that are tuning in, if you look at the bottom of my screen there, I have the little ticker going, and it opens Thursday, and there's a link right there. You can copy that and go get on the email list. So what'll happen Thursday, first thing in the morning Thursday, we'll send out emails, and you'll be able to get right in. The doors are only open for just a few days. I don't linger it for weeks or anything like that. It's just a few days. But just if you're afraid you're going to forget, then go ahead and sign up for that email. I do have a free class if you haven't taken it already. Some of you may have. It's also when you go to sign up for the email, you will get a little pop-up that says, would you like to try out this free class, this intuitive painting class? So you can just do that and see how you do and give me some feedback on how the class goes. Giggle, I'm Maureen. Hi, Maureen. Sorry about that. It's not showing me who's speaking. All right. I feel like, what do I want to do now? I need maybe some more layers on that. Let's see what I have in my box of tricks over here, I always say. Let's see what else I have. I use a variety of paints. I use a variety of acrylic paints. I use, sometimes I use golden, sometimes I use just whatever they have. This is just a all-purpose acrylic. I will be getting new paint coming in as well. I can't wait till that comes in. So that'll be some of Dion's new paint will be coming in. Acrylic paint. I use a lot of the DIY. Layering. Give you guys a little close up too, because this is really making it have a little more of a realistic kind of a look. I also have spray paint that I use, gang. It is water-based spray paint. So I will teach you all about that when you come into the group. It's very vibrant, just amazing stuff. Oh, I think it's raining. It's raining here, I think. So I'm just using this really, let's see how I'm holding it just very loosely and the thing is, when you put these layers in, it's not about completely covering those layers that you've already added, right? We're still letting peaks show through, right? This little flower up here is completely, you can't see the middle of this one at all. So it's completely facing that way. So we talk about those angles inside the group. I cannot wait to meet the new people when you come in. Just add a little touch of yellow in the middle here. It's always just a good time when we meet the new members. Okay. I feel like I'm gonna probably let that dry a little bit more. Let me come up here. Let's see if I can. Quite a few little touches today with all of you. I would say I'm about 3/4 of the way done. So I'll still work on it a little more, but right now I want those layers to dry so we can kind of get a little bit better color. You don't want to overwork a painting sometimes because it'll get a little muddy on you if you're not waiting for it to dry. Hi, Tony. She says beautiful. Thank you, Judy. She says pretty. Bobby Sparks in the house. Judy says new paint. I can't wait. I know, right? Me either. Let's see, did I miss anything? Hi, Roberta. Okay. All right, you guys, thanks so much for hanging out. Like I said, Thursday is the big day. That is when the Creators Club opens up. That is my cherished, cherished place to be. I mean, not that I work hard everywhere, but all my best work is in there, and I spend a lot of time prepping classes and thinking about subject matter and thinking about the members and how to get them to be their best artists that they can be. So I cannot wait to meet all of you in there. Thursday, the doors open. Get on that email list and go get the little free class if you'd like to take that. It's on the website. And if you have any questions at all, just reach out to me or any of the members that are in here. I'm sure you could ask them any questions because it's better to ask the people that are in there what it's like and all that good stuff. Again, no long-term commitments to be in there. My hope and what I like to see is that you come in and you see yourself grow and you want to stay. So that's what I hope to see when you come in. All right, everybody, I will talk to you again tomorrow. All right, we'll see you guys then. And I'm glad this broadcast turned out. So maybe I'm on to something. Bye, you guys.